So Peter didn't know Gloria himself when he met her. So did you know her before starting with this project?
No, I was totally in Peter's shoes. Also, I had no idea who Gloria Grahame was, like at all. You know, the name meant nothing to me. Pretty much like when he meets her in the film. It was a different time then. There was no kind of IMDb. There was no Google. He couldn't just kind of look it up on his phone and kind of figure out that she'd won an Oscar and she had 4 kids and been married however many times. But that's why I kind of like it, because there's something very pure about it. It's just human beings interacting with one another, figuring each other out, you know, figuring out what turns each other on, and it's very beautiful. I like that.
When you first read the script, what was it about it that drew you to this part and want to be part of the film?
The cause of the relationship, the fact that they are so. They shouldn't really be together. They're from 2 different worlds, really, and these 2 people shouldn't end up together. But somehow, over everything, they ended up loving one another very deeply, and also the care that Peter's family took of her in her final days. I think that's something Gloria Grahame really craved, was normalcy, and a family who stood by each other and took care of one another, and that's what Peter could offer her in her final days.
While I was watching the movie, I was impressed by the dance scene. How was it like to portray once again an artist, more or less, because he's an actor, but he dances in the scene?
Sure. I mean, weirdly, like the film wasn't, in some ways, very much of a stretch, because he's a working class guy. So am I. He's an actor. So am I. You know, and all those things were kind of very easy to come by. You know, the dancing thing wasn't rehearsed. We didn't really rehearse it. We shot it 4 times, and it was really fun. And a movie where sometimes the film can get very heavy and very intense, there were great moments of levity where we could just get to enjoy ourselves and have fun, and we really did.
Thanks.
And Annette's a great dancer.
I think I always feel that incredible sense of responsibility, but in this case, she is a real woman. She was a real woman. The book is very beautiful that Peter wrote after his relationship with her ended, and he described to me what it was like. He was so bereft, and it just sort of poured out of him, he said. And he needed to do that, you know, he needed to try to make sense of it. And don't we all, in a way? I mean, haven't we all had one of those relationships that just consumed us, and that we never, it operates on such a deep level inside of us that it transcends the intellect in a way. So I thought he really had a go when he wrote his book, and that was what initially brought everybody together. And Barbara Broccoli is a great producer, along with Colin. So their, you know, love of the project and their commitment to, and we also had fun. You know, we had good fun, and that's always a part of it. It's all about the people. It's all about the people that you're around. At least it is for me at this point, because the process is the only part that I can really, you know, what's the word? I have a hand in. Then I hand it over, they go edit it, they do everything else. I'm just there in the moment, so.
In the film, the son of Nicholas Ray, the director.
And how was the experience to share the screen with this amazing cast?
It was incredible. This is my first ever film, and I get to play Annette Bening's son. And it was produced by Barbara Broccoli, and I'm a massive Bond fan, so I got to take that one off the list. And I mean, yeah, just to work with the names I was working with, it was an incredible experience. Sorry?
How was rubbing shoulders with Julie Walters?
Brilliant. And luckily, I mean, like they always say, don't meet your heroes and stuff, but she was brilliant. She's exactly how you imagine she is. She's so nice and so funny, because you always worry that you're going to meet someone and they're going to be kind of scary and a bit like actory, but she was so nice. It was like meeting someone. Yes. She was great, and we were just chatting all the, you know, between takes, and yeah, it was great.
What's your first film then? How do you get to that stage?
Well, just by, yeah, I mean, I've done a lot of TV, and film was the thing I wanted to do when I was younger. This is why I was an actor. And so yeah, I just did the audition for this and got the role, and yeah, hopefully this will be the first of many.
So what next?
Next I'm off to film a show called Unreal on Amazon. I'm actually flying off to Vancouver tomorrow. So this is all very exciting. I know to do this and then go straight off, so it's great. I know. I don't like to fly hungover. No, I'm joking, of course I do. But yeah. No, lovely to meet you guys.
Have you watched it yet?
I have. I watched the film. I watched the film last week, and I have to admit I'm kind of dreading seeing it again because it is so upsetting. It's so sad. it's so hard to watch. I mean, like, it's the best film, one of the best films I've ever seen, not just biased because I'm in it, but like, Annette is incredible, so is Jamie Bell, and I would be surprised if it didn't get awards. But yeah.
Watching yourself on screen then.
I hate it. I hate doing it, I know, and you never get used to it, you know, you can do it. I've only been acting for a few years, yeah, I know it is, because especially on a cinema screen when you're huge, and so it's kind of surreal. I know, exactly, and because all the cameras are HD and stuff now, it's getting, you know, but no, I'll get used to it. I don't think many actors like watching themselves. Yeah.
So how did you come up with the idea of making this film with Barbara, who I believe she knew the Peter personally?
Yeah, Barbara Broccoli and Peter Turner. Barbara's been trying to make this movie. Barbara and Peter Turner are very good friends, and Barbara's been trying to make this movie for nearly 20 years. So I've come in it very late, you know. I was only a young boy then, and Jamie Bell was like 6 years old, so he wasn't involved. But it just came together. It's interesting how that happens, that a film can gestate for so long, and Barbara's off doing her Bond movies and all that stuff, and then we all got together, and Colin Vaines, who's the other producer, met me at a screening, and they suddenly kind of pounced on me and said, look, you should read the script. And then there was a book along with it, and it was great. And I used to take the train from London up to Scotland, and I read the script, and then I also read the book. The book's small little book, and I just fell in love with both the script and the book, and felt like somewhere in there was a great story, you know.
What importance does Liverpool have in this?
Well, Liverpool's the backdrop to the whole movie. It's where Peter Turner's from. It's where Gloria felt quite safe in her later days, because she loved Peter's family. Her family were quite fractured and quite a little bit. She wasn't very close to her family towards the end of her life. So Julie Waters plays Jamie's, Peter Turner's mum, and so I think she just found solace there in Liverpool, and she felt quite safe within that family environment. So it's quite unusual for a Hollywood superstar to be into her days there, you know.
Filming up there then?
We did 10 days up there, so it was good. Yeah, it was brilliant, you know. It was really important for us to be there. There's scenes in the Liverpool Playhouse, you know, because it's about actors and stuff, so we did use the real Playhouse, and it's what Peter wrote, really. We didn't use his real house because it's all been renovated into quite a posh house now, so because it's a period, it's 1978, but we used the streets of Liverpool and the way it would have been then, you know.
Yeah.
So
The plot reminds me a bit of My Week with Marilyn. Does it have any relation?
I think Colin Vaines actually produced that film. I don't know. I haven't seen the movie. I haven't seen The Week with Marilyn. Excuse me for not having seen it, but so I don't know. I would love to answer that question, but I don't know.
Music has a relevant role. I think of the dance scene where Peter starts to bond with Gloria. So why did you decide to choose that specific songs for the movie?
I chose the certain songs because of period. So that song was a big disco hit in the 70s. So and we cleared the song, and then we actually played it live on set. And so we did it in 2 takes. So it's much easier doing that than choreography. There's no choreographer in that, but it's just about a feeling. It's about 2 people flirting with each other and getting together, and it was a nice way to almost tell that story without having to make it all a big flirtation, you know. It was about, hey, do you want to dance? Right, fine, okay, we get it. These 2 people are in love, are going to be in love, and they love each other. There's nothing better than a good dance to work out, you know. Yeah, exactly.
Well, you were the main inspiration in this film. So how was your relation with the actual actor?
With this actor, Jamie Bell, great. You know, he's a wonderful actor, and he's a really good friend, and become a really good friend, and it couldn't be better, really.
Have you watched the film already?
Have I
watched the film?
I have watched it. I've watched it several times.
What were your first?
My first thought is I was very overwhelmed by it all, and I thought that Paul had told the film really, really well, and all the actors have done the most wonderful job. And I saw it with Paul McGuigan, the director, and I saw it with Barbara Broccoli, our producer. We all kind of sat there and kind of cried together and kind of hugged each other. And now I've seen it several times since, and I always kind of see something new about it and something different, and I like the film very much.
Do you feel it was accurate to your memoir?
I think it's a very faithful adaptation, yeah. And what they did, they kept very close to the book, and then they kind of extended it in a lovely ways. And they take actual scenes and dialogues, and we all felt very comfortable about that, and we're all very very pleased with it.
What does this festival make it so special and different from the other festivals in Europe?
I think the BFI London Film Festival is incredibly distinctive as a festival. London itself is a huge, film production hub, and we see that tonight at the European premiere of Film Stars Don't Die in Liverpool. So much British talent behind the camera and also up on screen.
You get to see all the films that are in this festival.
Well, we select. We've selected 246 feature films out of over 2,500 entries. So I work with a great team of programmers, and together we work through all of those films to select the ones that we screen here at the festival. But in terms of headline galas and official competition films, those are the sections that I have particular personal attention to.
What did you see in this film that you like to highlight?
Well, for a start, as a film fan, I'm a great admirer of Gloria Grahame, the great screen icon that Annette portrays in this film. She's a real movie star of the film noir period. But what really struck me by the film is that Annette does such a wonderful interpretation of her in her later career, at a time when she's still very passionate about her working ambitions, just as she's very committed to achieving personal happiness. And I think it's rare that we see such a fully rounded woman at that stage in her life, and so I think Annette's done an amazing job with great honesty and authenticity.
It reminds me the plot of My Week with Marilyn. Have you seen this film?
No, actually I haven't.
I have similarities between them.
What do you think about this, with the Harvey Weinstein scandal that is going on in America? What the BFI Film Festival have to say about this scandal, this huge controversy?
Well, the BFI London Film Festival is and has been passionately committed to creating, profile for strong women. We've put that front and centre in our program in the last 3 years. So for us, allegations of sexual abuse and of bullying are something to be taken very seriously, and we really applaud the women who are speaking out. That is a very, very difficult thing to do. I think the BFI is very committed to diversity more broadly, and are taking great steps to ensure that the gender imbalance in our industry is corrected. And I think when that is achieved, these kinds of issues are not able to be as prevalent as we may find them today.